Hey Fellowship, it's Sunday morning here. We're on our way down to Orlando for one of our last events of this trip. I can't go live, so Tehila and I are going to be recording early this morning. And this trip has just been magical, unbelievable, beyond any expectations that we had. My children have been put through a blender. I think that's the only way to describe it. It's like every day we've woken up in a different city, gone to bed in a different night, in a different hotel, just waking up and going and moving and coming and going. Here's this picture that I took. I think this is my favorite picture of the whole trip, and it really sums up my children's experience here. I just love that picture. So I think that's the number one. That's the keeper. That's the picture of this trip. Anyway, I just wanted to share this idea that's really come to me over the last couple of weeks traveling all across the United States. We finished Tisha B'Av, and now we're on a journey toward the new year, toward the Day of Atonement, towards Sukkot, the Day of Happiness. And, we've just experienced so much light from people that some of them we had known, but so many of them we had just discovered through the fellowship, and they were just icons on a WhatsApp or a name on an email address and maybe a face on a Zoom call. And then all of a sudden we got to meet them live in person. And there's 8 billion people in the whole planet, and some people are busy doing who knows what. But every person that we've met so far is like an agent of light, an ambassador for Israel, just bringing goodness into the world, spreading light into the world, bringing a new unity into the world, each in their own different way, but just like such beautiful souls. And we're so lucky that somehow out of 8 billion people, all of us have been intertwined into one move. And I've experienced it now in America, but I know that on the fellowship right now, there's people from Holland and Africa and all over the world. And, I cringe at the word love because of what America has done, but real love, ahava, it has the numeric value of 13 in the Aleph Bet letters. And echad has the numeric value of 13. And that's just a deep message of what it is to spread love. What is it to feel love? When you love someone, whether it be your wife, you feel at one with her. Your children, it's like a oneness. Even if it's your hat that you like, it's like a part of you. It's like, oh, I just feel a little bit more at one with that. And seeing now that, after all the isolation of COVID and the separation and the borders being locked, going out and really experiencing a oneness that we have, like one heart, just like one movement, one people, friends. It's just in this world that's so filled with like chaos and darkness and fear, and there's just so much out there, and yet there's these like sparks of light all over that are now interconnected, that went from virtual to the real. And to experience that oneness. And I remember Rabbi David Aaron once taught us that atonement is literally the word at one mint. It's like the same word. What is to atone for the sins of the past? It's to just bring it together, a real love, a real fixing, a real oneness. And to think that we're doing that in our small way here at the fellowship. And somehow it's a small way, but on the other hand, it's something that's all happening all around the globe, and really who knows where this might take us. And so far it's taken my family on this great adventure. And my instinct is that when I get back to Israel, Ari and I need to sit down and we need to plan. We need to plan a mass pilgrimage of the fellowship to the land of Israel. I mean, invite everyone, as many people as we can, as many congregations as we can, as many other home fellowships as we can, members that we can, people. Like, it's amazing to meet here in Georgia or in Florida or in Colorado. But imagine if we bring everyone all together to the land of Israel to inaugurate our center, to build it together, to be in it together. I think that that's just where this is going. From the virtual to the absolute real, to the building that will be an eternal monument in the land of Israel. I think that would really be something marvelous to do in our lifetime. And the truth is, after spending so much time here on the road, I can't imagine being involved in something more worthwhile than what we're doing, more beautiful? What else would I dedicate my time to than building this beautiful fellowship that's centered around the mountains of Judea, centered around a growing, becoming better people, becoming agents of light in the world, bringing more oneness and atonement to the world. We are just the most fortunate people. And so we're at the very last leg of our trip now. And we'll be speaking tonight at Fellowship Church in Florida, right outside Orlando. So of course everyone's invited to that. I imagine that that'll be streaming live and it'll be recorded. But thank you all for making this trip such a revolutionary, life-changing trip for us. That we see that we're just piercing through, we're just getting started, and it's already been so beautiful. So thank you all so much. Now to bring in some real Torah, I'm going to invite Tehila on, and then together we'll bring this new light from northern Florida for you. So here's Tehila.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Gimpel. A lot of people want to know exactly what the Land of Israel Fellowship is and what members receive when they join, so let me explain. The Land of Israel Fellowship is a global online community with hundreds of members from over 40 countries around the world. There are live sessions and gatherings that create a direct personal connection to the Land of Israel and to lovers of Israel from around the world. There's no online gathering that I'm familiar with that is connected to the Land of Israel that unites and brings together such a diverse group of people, backgrounds, and nationalities. It feels like prophecy. It feels like something we need in these times, like a window in to a better future on the horizon. There's a divine unity we experience every week in our fellowship broadcast. We heard these amazing teachings from an authentic Hebrew and Israel perspective and our jaws drop. Not only because they ring so true and are such a blessing, because they are so consistent with what we believe. These Sunday morning gatherings are nothing less than a house of prayer for all nations. Cindy Lowe, the United States of America. The Land of Israel Fellowship is an amazing resource for learning Torah, the Bible, and the prophets, unfiltered and uncensored directly from the Land of Israel. We've been studying Torah for almost 20 years, but we feel we are stepping into it more than ever and seeing new depth and dimensions to Scripture. We're encouraged more and more every week. Callan Ardell, USA. Members receive access to all the archives in the library of teachings on every portion of the Torah, the biblical feast, Hebrew prayer, prophecy, sessions on the ancient wisdom of the prophets of Israel to help us navigate through these turbulent times. These sessions are so rich. I re-listen to each, and truly each session is the best one yet. Tehila is a tremendous asset, and the teachings Ari shares are so rich. I've read the Bible so many times, and I've known the things you are teaching. The Hebrew understanding is what Christians have missed for centuries. Sister Georgian from Germany. The Land of Israel Fellowship is truly unique because it's built upon personal relationships with the teachers of the fellowship. Myself, Rabbi Ari Abramowitz, and Tehila Gimpel. Every member has direct access to the staff 24/6 via email or direct WhatsApp to ask questions, to comment, to connect directly to all the teachers. And over the last years, we've connected to some of the most beautiful people on the planet. So if you want to find out more and join the Land of Israel Fellowship, you can click on the link below. And if you want to try it out for just a month, you can email fellowship@thelandofisrael.com and we'll hook you up. I hope to see you. Shalom from the mountains of Judea.